Hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Bruh.
I've got something I think you'll find very unique.
Okay.
These are two swords that my dad acquired from Germany during the Second World War.
Cool.
My dad brought these home as war prizes. The two swords are in excellent condition. They haven't been played with like a lot of World War II armaments might have been played with. I'm hoping to get $20,000 for both swords. I won't take any less than 15.
Whoa, that is fancy.
Up until the second half of the 1800s, you didn't really get that many medals. The thing that distinguished you was your sword.
Oh,
If you were in a really big battle and you really showed yourself in that battle, the Navy or the Army would have bought you a very expensive sword. This one's a little weird. It could be Polish, it could be Swedish. This is laid out gold. That was just not your average guy's sword right there. That was an expensive, expensive sword. You want to sell them?
I'd like to sell them, yes.
Did you have an idea what you wanted?
I'm hoping to get $20,000.
Okay. What really determines the value on something like this is whose sword was it? I mean, if it's high-ranking general's sword, it's worth a lot of money. Let me have my buddy take a look at it. Mark, how's it going?
Good to see you. Woohoo. This one is actually German. It's an Imperial Eagle with the crown on it.
It looks like a lieutenant's sword. It's not that fancy.
No, it isn't, but it's in very nice shape. This one, however, is very nice. It's crossed swords on this side. That means it's a cavalry piece. Scheidenen is its separation, it's retirement. It's a retirement sword for Oberst von Winterfeld. It was given to him when he retired from the unit in 1897. An Oberst is a commander colonel.
A light colonel now?
No, a little higher than that. Probably a brigadier general, something in that range.
Okay.
But you have a couple of very nice swords here and very good examples of the sword maker's art.
So a sword like this generally goes for like 1,500 bucks.
Really?
This thing was very expensive when it was made, and $1,500 for a European sword is a lot of money. So this one I would give you like 100 bucks for. This is sort of plain. It's a German one. This one I would give you $1,000 for.
I appreciate the offer. I think I'm going to take them home.
Okay.
Thanks
Have a
very
good
much
one.
for the information. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, great. I've got this ancient Japanese katana signed by Koide Ishida himself, and I'm interested in selling it.
All right. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of it, that's for sure.
Well, I've displayed the sword in my office, and here comes this Japanese guy, and he goes, "Oh, my goodness, that's worth a lot of money." And I knew then that I had something that was really valuable. I've been told the value is anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000, and so the sky's the limit.
So what can you tell me about it?
I have been in swords for quite a few years. I like reproductions, and I've never had an original.
Okay.
And when I seen this one here, that was it. I wanted it.
All right. And you mentioned a name.
And it's signed by a gentleman by the name of Koide Ishida.
And who is he?
He could be the descendant of Mitsunari Ishida, the colonel in the Battle of Sakigahara.
Does that make it special?
I've never seen anything like this one here anywhere.
Got a few, man.
You got a couple, but you notice nothing like this.
We picked up one of our Japanese swords for 4,500 bucks, and after having it restored, it's worth 15 grand. If I can make that sort of profit on this thing, I've got to have it. You say it has markings and it's signed. Where are they?
The swordsmith usually puts his signature on it on the tang.
So if we remove this handle, we'll see the signature underneath?
Right. This was all deciphered by a Japanese lady.
Koide Ishida.
Right. That's what's on the tang.
Okay, so some guy we don't know.
Right.
That's useless to me. I'm not trying to be a jerk to this guy, but I do need to be extremely careful. There's a ton of fakes out there. Some stranger appraised it, and no one even knows who Koide Ishida is. But the markings on the sword are fairly unique, so I think it's worth having someone take a look at it. How much are you looking to get?
Well, $1 million.
You mind if I have a buddy of mine come check it out?
Welcome it.
All right, let me go give him a call.
All right, thank you. I'm excited because now I got a professional that knows what he's doing. And by golly, that's what I've been looking for.
What you got today?
Got a katana sword for you.
May I take a look at your sword?
Oh, absolutely. Right ahead.
You know, swords like this, they're laminated and they're made with like about 33,000 layers of steel.
yes, sir.
So their cutting ability is unparalleled. During World War II, there was footage of one that cut through a machine gun barrel.
Wow.
This was very prominent around 1000 to around the late 1200s. And swords in that time period are well worth anywhere from $50,000 up to $4 million. It is really rare to find a sword from the 1200s in fully intact condition. Getting a sword like that is kind of like winning the lotto.
So tell me, is it real?
We have to remove the handle to take a look at the signature. So what this says is actually Shinjo. He's a very famous maker, Iwama Shinjo. But there is no such maker as Ishida Koeda, unfortunately. And swords from the Kamakura period were worn opposite. So the signature would actually be on this side of the tank.
Okay.
What we have here is actually a reproduction of a Kamakura period sword.
Wow.
These swords were actually made in China about 15 years ago. I've seen these go for anywhere from $50 to $200.
Well, man, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make a deal. I got no room for a $50 sword. So, Mike, you mind giving me my hand?
No problem.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm disappointed because it looks real. It fooled me, and I was really looking forward to this. But I learned a lot.
What do we have here?
These are my Freddy Krueger fingers, a guitar blade,
I think it's
guess,
called
is what-
a scissor guitar.
Scissor guitar.
Didn't they used to kill tigers with those?
You can't kill a tiger with a knife.
With a guitar, you can.
No, it's an 800-pound killing machine.
We're talking about a ninja that an 800-pound killing machine couldn't even see.
I came to the pawn shop today to try and sell what I believe is a scissor guitar. In the right hands, this would be a very deadly weapon. I'd like to get about $500 for it. I would go, I guess, as low as $50 if push came to shove.
So where'd you get it?
I own a local junk hauling franchise, and we were cleaning out someone's garage, and at first I thought it was like maybe a World War I bayonet or something, but...
Different cultures all have different kinds of knives and swords and everything like that. This is just the one that developed in India.
Right.
You can just tell the way the patina's at, they're like 100 years old. The majority of them do not have this little scissor action. They're just a blade like this. Could use it in one hand to like catch a sword or something like that, and you can stab them with it too.
I read that the really good guys could punch somebody, open it up when it was inside, and do maximum internal damage.
Looks like you could trim hedges with this.
Really, trim hedges?
Like Edward Scissorhands.
God, I love you, Chum. Some stuff just brings out the crazy in Chum. A 100-year-old Indian mechanical push dagger definitely does the trick. I don't see it as a real realistic weapon. I mean, this metal is very thin, can be bent really easy, but it's still difficult to make this. You know, this is like all iron, and it feels like spring steel inside there. And it was really beautiful at one time, I imagine. I mean, this silver inlay right here, it looks like it went all the way down the sides, across the handles right here. I think someone really prized it at one time. So what do you want to do with it?
I want to sell it because I have 2 young boys at home that I don't need them fighting tigers or taking each other's liver out with it or something.
Okay. Generally, people who collect swords and knives like that, they like really, really high quality stuff. And this isn't. I'm assuming I'm gonna get $100 out of this thing. Okay? You would think more, but
I wouldn't think that you see too many of these, though. That's...
you don't. But you don't see 150-year-old spaghetti that often, but it's not gonna be worth a lot of money. I mean, that's the same analogy, you know? Now, I'll give you $50.
I've got 2 kids. Can we do 75?
$60.
I think you're gonna be able to do so many things with it.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take him to the hospital to get stitches with it. That's what I'm gonna do with it.
65?
All right, $65. Go write him up, chum. Don't play with it.
$65 isn't going to get me the trip to Disneyland I was hoping for, but probably Happy Meals for the boys tonight, at least.
Ain't nothing but a ninja party.
Chum, put the thing away before someone gets put in the hospital.
Ninjas don't go to the hospital.
So where do they go?
Into the woods. These guys just don't give me the respect that I deserve. I know in a past life, I must have been a ninja. I mean, come on, they've seen my ninja skills.
How much we pay for that hunk of metal?
I paid $65 for it. I think I'll probably get a couple hundred for it.
Yeah, Chumley don't kill himself.
You wouldn't understand. You're not a ninja like me.
When you cut your hand off, Chumley, don't expect working comp out of this company.
Chum and weapons do not mix. Part of me finds them entertaining. The other part makes me want to get a new insurance policy for the shop.
What are you doing, Chumley?
Opening mail.
Ever since Rick bought that damn knife, Chumley's been obsessed. It's like using a sledgehammer to swat a fly.
What's that mean? See how good that works?
This blockhead's guaranteed to land somebody in an emergency room. I just hope it ain't me.
This guitar knife that Rick bought is awesome. I've been finding all kinds of practical uses for it.
What in the world are you doing, Chumley?
Having a snack. You want some?
Yeah, well, maybe.
All right, I'll make you some right here. What are you doing?
I'm putting this up before you cut yourself, Chumley.
I have ninja skills. You know I'm getting that back, right?
If you do, I'll cut you 6 feet wide, Chumley.
I can't believe the old man is hating on my ninja skills. This is why I'm not more helpful around the shop. Because every time I do something awesome, I get nothing in return.
Fits like a glove. Chum was running around with this guitar like a kid with scissors. So I took it.
Everyone around here sucks. I mean, yeah, sometimes I get carried away, but it's not like I hurt anyone. At least not in a while.
Who's the ninja now, Chum?
Really?
Hi. Looking to see if maybe you'd be interested in purchasing this sword.
Oh, wow. Are you a closet samurai or something like that?
No. I'm here at the pawn shop today, hopefully to sell my 16th century katana ceremonial sword. My father-in-law brought it back from World War II when he was stationed in Japan. I think this sword is really cool, and I'm looking to get $10,000.
It's a great piece of history. During World War II, there was this whole thing called the spoils of war and war prizes. Might sound a little strange now, but it just goes back from thousands of years. I mean, that was part of a soldier's pay. If you went to battle, you got to take a few prizes home. Generally, out of Europe, they would take flutes. I've seen lugers. I've seen all these other things. One of the big things guys brought back from Japan was samurai swords.
Wow.
Can you tell me what this says right here?
Well, he actually did ask a Japanese kid to tell him what the writings meant. The kid said it was a sword used for beheading Christians.
I mean, I have never heard of the Japanese beheading Christians.
Okay.
Can we see the blade on this thing?
Do you mind if I take it apart?
Absolutely.
Please. There's a little excitement in here. Ooh, check out the blade on that sword. Don't be touching that, Rick. You know better than that. What did I tell you over the years?
What have you taught me?
Yeah, not to touch that with your hands.
So what can you tell me about this, Chum? Humor him. What do you know about it?
Let's see here. It's pretty old. Looks pretty nice. Definitely looks like it was used. Probably beheaded, you know, an out-of-line boss once or twice in its time.
I definitely find it interesting. What were you looking to do with it?
Sell it.
Okay, how much you want for it?
$10,000.
Okay. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what it's worth. It's in need of some reconditioning, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
With these things, I have a friend who knows everything about them. When they come in, that's who I call. So if you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, I'll give him a call, have him come down, check it out, and
Great, excellent.
he'll give us a much better idea what it's worth. Here it is. So what do you think?
Well, let me take a look at the handle with your permission.
Absolutely. That was slick.
Well, it's got some writing on the blade, huh? You seen anything good down there?
So this blade is actually very interesting because during the 1800s, there was a great rebellion and a civil war going on, and many factions were trying to take over Japan. This blade was made in 1863 by Nagahiro and was given to the Lord of Choshu to protect Japan against enemies of the emperor, the imperial family, and especially against the Tokugawa, or the military leader. So this is quite an important sword, historically.
She was told a story that it was used for beheading Christians, which I said, probably not.
There is a term called joy that's written on the tang, which means protecting or reverence to the imperial family. So not literally beheading Christians, but just anybody who was considered an enemy of the emperor at the time.
Okay, so the question, what's it worth?
Well, in its present condition and the fact that it has very high historical value, I'd say this sword is probably worth about $10,000.
Wow.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay, this sword is a very good buy for the shop because it's a very unique item. Anytime you get a sword that was actually owned personally by the Lord, that's got to be something special.
All right, so what are you willing to take for it? I have to make money on it.
Oh, I realize that. 5? Can you make money at that?
Yeah, I can. I make a little too much money at that. The fact of the matter is, I don't take advantage of people. 5,000 is just too low. I will give you $6,000 for it. I would go more, but this is a multi-year project here, most likely. So I'm assuming 6,000 is fine since you wanted 5.
Yes, 6,000 is great.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Chum, will you write her up?
I'm gonna write this ticket up, then I might behead you with this sword, Rick.
Oh. I'm amazed. I asked for 5,000 for the sword, and Rick cut me some slack and actually gave me 6. It's awesome.
Hey, what's going on, man? Rick here?
Thank God, no. He's actually out getting a quote to repair that golf sign he got in Chattanooga.
Cool. All right. Well, maybe you can help me with this. A Filipino bolo knife from the Insurrection War.
All right. Definitely has some weight to it. You probably chopping up some coconuts with this thing.
Today I brought in a Filipino Insurrection bolo knife. I got this from a connection of mine who got it from an estate sale in Virginia. This knife is really unique because souvenirs from the Philippine Insurrection are very scarce to find. I think I can get $1,000.
Normally I'd call Rick, but he really doesn't want me bugging him right now. It's pretty cool. I don't know too much about it.
And what's really cool about this is it's got an original label here by whoever captured it, stating where this was found and who it was given to.
My insurgent war bolo taken at the Battle of Balintong, Philippine Island, November 21st, 1899 by the 26th Infantry. That's pretty cool. What are you looking to do with it?
You know, usually bring stuff in here for Rick and he's not here, but I figured $1,000, man. I mean, something like this, it's hard to price and you can't find, there's no comparables out there.
First off, I don't know too much about it. Normally call someone, but I'm guessing it's probably worth somewhere in maybe like the $500 range.
Yeah, a little more than $500, man. $850.
$500, that's the most I'm gonna give you.
$700. See, now I'm getting hard. Now, see, I've come off so much and you're just not bringing it up and up.
That's, you know, still gonna be a lot.
My wall, $600, that's it. I'm walking. Let's call. You don't want to see it somewhere else and get Rick all mad.
All right, I'll give you $600 for it.
All right, man, you're tough. You're tough, man.
No, you're tough.
All right.
I'm gonna get fired for this. I just bought something for what it's probably worth.
No, man, I think you guys are gonna do great with this.
All right.
All right, man, I'll see you up front. In the end, $600 is great. This knife is really unique. I don't know what the true value will be. I'm sure these guys will figure it out and do good with it.
What are you doing?
Wrapping up an item for customers gonna take it home with them.
Okay, chum, that stuff costs money. Stop, stop. It's wrapped.
It's a piece of art.
It's wrapped. What's this?
A Philippine war knife.
Where'd you buy this?
I bought it from Spencer, your dad's buddy.
What'd you pay for it?
$600.
Chum, this is worth like maybe 200 bucks.
200 plus about 800. That thing's easily worth $1,000, if not more.
I know it's not worth that.
I'll bet you.
Bet me what, chum? That I'm right? I know I'm right.
I bet you it's worth $600 or more. And if I'm right, you're walking Pinky in a tutu.
Cool, and if I'm right, you're cutting your ponytail off with this thing.
I'd never cut my ponytail off, but I'll accept that bet because I know I'm right.
If you want to make the bet, make the bet. But I'm telling you, it's a bad idea. So you're willing to bet your hair?
Yeah, there's no way I'm wrong. I'll happily bet my ponytail.
You're gonna be losing your hair, man.
Hope they got a tutu in his size.
Alex, I'm glad you're here.
What's up?
Check out this score I've got. Philippine war knife.
They call this a barong.
Yes, they do.
Me and Chum have a bet. What's it worth?
What's the bet on?
I bought that from your buddy Spencer. He came in and you weren't around.
Yeah, and Chum paid 600 bucks for it.
He thought I overpaid.
It's worth about 300 bucks, right?
Well, these are actually really popular with collectors, but what's really cool is this little label here. The 26th Infantry Regiment, that's when it was formed in the Philippines for the Philippine insurrection. So this is a legendary infantry regiment, a regiment that's still in service today. These guys were in the beginning of World War I. They were some of the first troops in France. Same thing with World War II. They're at the Battle of the Kasserine Pass. And this early date, 1899, I mean, this could have been one of their first battles ever. That totally affects the value. If this were just a barong in this, it's, you know, $500 knife maybe, but with this and tied to the 26th Infantry Regiment, I think it's like, you probably get $1,000 for it.
Damn it.
All right, so what did you guys bet or whatever?
Corey has to walk Pinky in a tutu.
Come on, let's get this over with. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a walk right there. Wait, turn around. Let me get a picture of you guys. Corey, I really think you should get a small dog. What do you think, Rick?
I'm done now.
You know what, Corey? Pinky's not enjoying this walk. It's cool if you finish up now. Just take her back inside.
I can't believe you got him to wear that.
You lost a bet. You know how
I will never forgive you for this, Chum.
He offered me $1,000 to get out of it. Pictures are worth more than $1,000.
Yeah.
Hi, how's it going?
Hold on 1 second here.
Yeah.
What do we got?
So I have this really cool old sword.
So do you mind opening it?
Absolutely.
Okay, you can set it down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need to be holding a sword like that.
I'm here at the pawn shop today trying to sell my antique sword. I've had it for about 3 years, and I'm just not finding much use for it. I'm hoping to sell this sword for $8,000.
This is pretty cool. So what are you looking to do with it?
I'd like to sell it.
Any idea on how much you're looking to get?
I'm thinking $8,000.
How'd you come up with that number?
Comparing it to other swords in the same condition.
Okay, so here's the issue. When it comes to these swords, all the information I need is inside of here. What's inside of there is the maker, where it was made, possibly. I mean, it could go on and on and on.
Right.
You know, the more information, the better. That being said, do you mind if I have somebody come down and pop this off and take a better look at it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, hang out. I'll be right back and see if I can get them down here, all right?
Perfect, okay. I'm really excited for an expert to come in and see what's under that handle.
All right, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah. Corey called Mike into the shop to evaluate a Japanese sword that a customer brought in. But before he gets down to business, I've got a plan of my own. For years, Mike's been telling me he's gonna teach me how to cut with a sword, and today's finally gonna be that day.
Come over here. Okay, put sword out. We're gonna go up this way, put your left foot out. Okay, and we will try to go right to left, okay? So, left foot forward, 1, swing, 2. Good, very good. You ready for the real thing?
I'm ready.
Okay, let me have that one. The important part is grip it super hard.
Okay.
You don't want to let go.
Okay.
All right? And treat it like a loaded gun because the sword is always loaded.
Okay.
Okay, so same grip. When I count, we're gonna try it. Ready?
What's going on here?
I'm the best one in the shop at shooting guns, so I figured why not be the best in the shop with a sword.
And you trust him with this?
Not really. I think we should stand over there.
Okay, let's do that.
You ready, Corey?
Sure.
Here we go. You want to give one more try?
Of course I do.
Okay, just a little bit lower, not too low.
About right here?
Right there. Good. That's pretty good.
I'm proud of you, chum. I'm still not understanding the purpose behind this, but okay. Clean the stuff up, get dressed, get to work. Mike, would you mind checking out a sword for me?
No problem. Okay, I'll see you inside. Good job, chum.
Thank you. I think I like this better than shooting guns.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
I believe it's a Shoto.
Well, from the looks of it, looks like a very nice sword in good condition. So we can tell a lot from the upper portion of the blade by the way it's made, but all the important information usually is in the tang, where the sword maker signed it.
Okay, yeah.
The whole blade is held in by this little tiny pin, believe it or not.
Wow.
Because the handles are made so perfectly to fit it, that's all it takes to hold it in.
Okay.
There we go.
It looks like you got lucky. Do you see this gold writing?
Yes.
That was only done at the order of very high lords. And this sword is actually made by a very famous sword maker named Yukihiro, who worked in the 1600s. And his swords were known for sharpness. But what's important is this was actually tested by the #1 decapitator for the government of Japan during that time.
Sounds like an interesting job to have.
The tang is all in original condition. Signature is genuine, no question about it.
Okay.
I mean, this is like a museum quality blade.
Wow.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I guess the big question is, what's it worth?
I mean, you're really looking at about an easy $15,000.
Oh my gosh.
Aren't you glad I called him in?
Yes. That's amazing.
Mike, I appreciate it. Do you mind putting it back together for me?
No problem.
Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Hey, take care.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, you too.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna offer you 10 because I'm gonna have to put it in auction. Auctions aren't cheap. They charge commissions. I gotta make money on it.
Absolutely, that's true. We did learn a lot today, though, and he said 15, and that's a huge difference, so...
I'll tell you what, I'll do 11. Don't get greedy on me.
14. 14.
You're getting greedy on me.
No.
I'll tell you what, we'll do 12.
12. All right, we have a deal.
Deal. Okay, come with me, you gotta do something.
Okay. I was really excited to find out that it was worth $15,000. I was hoping to get $8,000. We settled at 12. That's $4,000 extra. I'm very happy with that.
Hey, a rifle, huh?
Well, check it out.
Oh, it's not a rifle. That's a sword.
Yeah, sir. What I have is a very old sword. I got this from my grandfather. He recently passed away. He willed it to me. I don't know much about this sword, just that it's worth a lot of money. I'm hoping to get $40,000 from it. I really don't have much use for it, and I really don't think he would mind if I used it for a little bit of personal gain.
It looks pretty cool. Do you know what it is?
I'm actually not too sure. I know my grandfather got it at an auction. I just know that it's valuable. That's pretty much it, so.
At first glance, it's amazing. It's very ornate. It's got some very cool detail, like the head of Medusa, what looks like a lion right here, a date of 1810 on it with some Russian writing. Let's take it out here. Ooh, that's nice.
Careful, it is sharp.
Yeah. That's really weird right there. That's Arabic writing. I'm kind of puzzled here. I mean, it's got Arabic on the blade. It's got Russian writing right here. It's dressed up really nice and fancy, almost like a dress piece, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of at a loss here. What are you looking to do with it?
I'm looking to sell it.
And how much are you looking to get?
Well, I was looking for 40,000.
40,000 seems like a stretch to me. Do you know how much Grandpa paid for it?
Actually, don't. My uncle was telling me, though, that he did pay a pretty penny for it.
Well, this blade is so nice, and the sword is so ornate. It's too much going on here for me to decipher. I'd like to have someone come in and take a look at it, especially if you're asking money like $40,000.
Of course, yeah. I understand.
Let me get my guy Alex down here, and hopefully he knows something about this sword, at least more than you or I.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, give me a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Great. I'm very happy that an expert's coming in to take a look at it. I think that it would help me out knowing its value and kind of knowing a little more of the history. So even if I don't sell it today, it would help me out in the future.
It's not the Holy Grail, but this thing is pretty mysterious.
Wow, I know this sword.
At least one of us does.
Well, this is actually, it's like a historically significant sword.
Really?
Do you mind if I touch it?
Go for it, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yep. So this sword belonged to a Russian prince. That name, Ivan Ivanovich Odevsky. He was a Hussar, and he was killed at the Battle of Brienne in France in January 1814 by Napoleon's troops.
Wow.
He was a war hero, and this guy gets killed with this sword on him.
Whoa.
So...
That's what I was confused about. It has an Arabic mark on the blade.
Yeah, this Arabic writing means it came out of Persia, which wouldn't be uncommon for this. So this was built with the intention of being like a head of state sword, because this is about the finest blade you can put on it. And I mean, this thing is massive, and you can hold it and feel like...
It's got some weight to it.
Yeah, and it's well balanced. So
it'll definitely take an arm off.
This was not just a ceremonial sword. This was also a battle sword.
But it does have a ceremonial feel to it,
Oh,
right?
you're completely right. It's about as fancy as they come. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's really second to none.
I've never seen you speechless.
It's just, you know, you hear about these things. You never really think you're gonna like walk in and see it.
What kind of value do you think this has?
So here's the thing. This sword sold at auction for $30,000. And frankly, the sword undersold. Now, the funny thing about the auction is it wasn't the right auction to put it in. And so the collecting community didn't actually know that this was out there until after it was sold. If you take it to auction today and get it in front of the right buyers, I would imagine you're talking 75, 100,000.
Well, I think that's all I need to hear.
All right, that was
for
a
coming
lot.
Down.
Thank you for letting me see it.
Of course, yep.
All right, it's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm, it is.
So, for me to be in this sword anywhere comfortable, I'd buy it for $20,000.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
The problem is, it's too big of a risk for me.
Right.
I'd love to offer you $50,000 for this sword, possibly even more, but it's already sold once in an open market, and it didn't come anywhere close to the reserve it was expecting.
Right.
So it's just a dangerous territory for me.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that, especially after what he just said.
I don't blame you.
Now that makes me think that I should find the right auction for it.
All right, well, thanks for coming in.
Listen, I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too, thank you. After knowing the actual value of this sword, I'm glad I didn't sell it, and I think now I'm going to try to find the proper auction, and hopefully I can put it in front of the right people to get a better price for it.
I've got a hero sword here for you.
A hero sword?
Yes, it was used by John Wayne in Rio Grande.
Hey, John Wayne,
Yeah.
your guy.
Yeah, he was a hell of an actor.
I think they went to the same high school.
Yeah, right.
Where did you get it?
I got it from a prop store called Western Costume Company. Being a Marine Corps veteran,
You know, I've got a kind of affinity to military swords and stuff, and this was probably a sword that was used in the American cavalry. And when the government decided to sell off or get new swords, they sold them to prop stores.
Okay, and you got paperwork for
I got
this?
COA right here.
All right. I probably have seen Rio Grande. I do not remember the plot.
Rick, anything John Wayne, those was classic movies back in the day. The plots were almost all the same. You know, save the girl, et cetera, et cetera.
So you don't remember the plot?
No, I don't.
I may not remember all the details, but Rio Grande is considered one of the greatest Westerns ever made. We can prove this sword was in the movie and used by the iconic John Wayne. It would have all kinds of value. I mean, I think it's damn cool. I mean, this is an American cavalry sword. The weird thing is it's been plated over. This isn't the way the cavalry would receive it. It wasn't gold-plated. It was polished brass. They might have done that just to make it shine a little bit more in the movies. Is there an identifying mark on this thing?
Well, what it is that it came along with this tag written on the sword itself. It has this number, 0015.
Okay. How much you want?
Well, I was thinking at minimum, I'd take $12,000.
Whoa.
That much, huh?
I mean, when you think America, you think John Wayne. And for him to actually have held it and used it in a classic movie.
Do you mind if I have someone look at this? I know somebody who knows everything there is to know about John Wayne stuff.
Who are you talking about?
John Wayne's son.
Ah,
okay.
Cool.
I met Ethan Wayne a while back, and we've become friends. Having his dad's stuff come through my shop is a good reason to give him a call. He'll be able to tell me yes or no. I mean, he's really authority on just about anything about his father. I'm going to go give him a call.
Sure, no problem. I have the certificate, and I have everything that'll prove that it's a John Wayne sword. I'm pretty sure that he'll look at the certificate, and he'll look at the sword, and he'll confirm that it was used by his father. But either way, it's cool to meet him.
What do you got here?
Supposedly used by your dad, a sword from Rio Grande.
Before my time. But cool. Rio Grande's one of the trilogies. 3 cavalry films that my father made with John Ford directing. John Ford really responsible for his start as a major player in the movie business.
John Wayne was a stunt guy first, right?
Well, he worked as a prop man, and he did whatever they wanted him to do. And he was a physical guy. He went to SC on a football scholarship, had an injury, got lucky enough to get a job as a prop man's assistant. And since he was athletic, they'd use him for whatever they could use him for.
Is that why he had that special walk, that football injury?
No, I think that when he was first put on film, he wasn't comfortable about the way he walked and talked and looked to himself. Ah. So he watched guys like Harry Carey and Yakima Canet, and he built this sort of on-screen persona, representing American heroes and the epitome of the American male. His films were in the Middle East and in India and in Asia and all these places, and so he represented the United States of America to a large portion of the world before we were so connected. These things would typically be in a big bin, and everybody sort of wore the same thing. So it's going to be tough without specific markings to call this one out as a specific one that he used. I think we should start with the certificate of authenticity. It comes from Western Costume Company. I know that a lot of times they would engrave WCC up by the hilt, so I don't see any inscriptions. Do you know if there's one on there?
Well, there's this number right here, which matches the tag that was sent along with it.
Okay. We could